Hello mates, Taggy McTaggerson here, and I'm going to bring you 5 interesting facts about Scutta that you did not previously know. And maybe one of those should be I should never ever do impersonations. Alright, my good friend Miss Una has tagged me, and this is the first time that I have ever been tagged on the video thing. And for those of you who don't know what tagging is, it's basically just a silly little game that we all play, I suppose, where you make a video about some theme and then you tag 5 other people and they have to make a video and they have to tag people. So it's kind of a never-ending circle. But I guess it's kind of fun and I'll play along since Una did this. So anyway, this theme is going to be 5 secret things that you may not know about Scudder. So, I've got my list here. Let me look at my list. Alright. The first thing that you may not know about me is that in my younger years, when I was a young whippersnapper, many years ago, I was in the bar business and I was a bouncer. And if you've never been to a bar, a bouncer is those big mean security guys that throw you out on your tail if you get out of line. So I actually was working in a convenience store at the time and wanted to get a part-time job, and just happened to get a job as a bouncer in I guess you would call it a dance club. I was going to call it a disco club, but maybe I'm not like that old. But it was a dance club, and that was the first time I'd ever worked in the bar business. And of course this was before I rededicated my life to Christ and was trying to live a Christian life, so I wasn't very Christian back then. Anyway, but worked in the bar business, and from the dance club I moved over to a country and western bar and worked there for quite a while. The people that I worked for owned lots of bars in, this was when I lived in Memphis, and I worked in several of their bars, and some of those included dance clubs. I worked in a gay bar. I worked in a female stripper bar, and several other various bars from time to time. And the whole bouncer thing, it was fun. I enjoyed it. For me, it was a great opportunity because I used to really kind of be shy, and I was always kind of a dork and real goofy. And in that time frame, I really kind of came out of my shell, I guess, and learned how to be a social person. So it was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of really interesting people. But I don't know that I was quite 100% cut out for the bar business, just because it can be very cutthroat. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and when you're in a big city, usually some very unsavory people own the bars, and there were some things that went on that I didn't like and did not agree with my moral code, so I quit. But anyway, that's an interesting thing about me. Another interesting thing about me is that I collect old stamps. Now, I'm not your typical stamp collector. I don't collect new edition stamps. I never have gotten into them, actually. What I collect is old, used postage stamps. And a lot of people say, what's the point? They're not worth anything. Well, that's true for the most part. I think some of the really old ones have a little value. But for me, it's just the fun. I enjoy collecting them and enjoy getting old used stamps from around the world. I have several people that send me stamps periodically throughout the year. They just send me packages. They'll save them up for me. I actually got started when I was doing eBay back many years ago when eBay first started, and a lot of the payments, we didn't have electronic payments back then, so we got paid with checks and money orders, and I would always save the stamps when I got payments in, and that's how I got started. And I guess probably I'll continue to do that for a long time, until I get over it. And when I die, I guess maybe some kid will inherit my collection, and maybe that will spark an interest for a new hobby for them. Alright, the next thing is siblings. Technically, I am an only child, and I say that, and let me explain. Between my mother and my father, between their marriage, I am the only child that they had in their marriage. So I don't have any whole brothers and sisters. Both of my parents have been married several times, and so through those marriages I have steps and halves. So I think I've got total is 2 half-brothers and 2 half-sisters, 2 step-brothers and a step-sister. And I actually think at one point I had another couple of step-brothers and step-sisters, but I didn't know my dad's last wife very well, so didn't really know their family. So anyway, my sister, who was my half-sister, Lavana, she had muscular dystrophy, actually infantile spinal muscular atrophy. And she was probably my favorite. We were closest, let me put it that way. And that's because I grew up having to learn how to take care of her, because she was in a wheelchair all of her life, and there was a lot of care that had to be given. But she was my inspiration for so many things in my life. And she passed away in '87, and I still miss her today. So anyway, that's another thing that you didn't know about me. And let's see, another thing that you did not know is that I used to be a dance instructor. Believe it or not, this old fat body of mine used to be in much better shape, and I actually was a pretty good dancer. When I was in high school, the high school that I went to had a huge performing arts department, and I was involved in choir and all that. So if there's some of that, we did some like jazz dancing and stuff like that, but I never quite got into that. But when I got older, right after my college years, when I was in the bar business again, I got into country and western dancing, and actually found that I was very good at it. I was actually had danced on a dance team, was on a TV show for a while, and I taught dance in the bars in Memphis. So that was kind of fun. It was great exercise. I lost a ton of weight when I was dancing. When I wasn't working, I was dancing, basically. So I was dancing 6 or 7 hours a night, and lost a ton of weight and got into probably the best shape I'd ever been in my life. And you certainly are not seeing the evidence of that now, but back then you could see the evidence of it. So anyway, that was kind of fun. I still miss dancing, but at this point in my life, my poor old body is so old, getting old and broke down, I don't think there's going to be no dancing in my life. But it was fun. So if you like to dance, especially for you guys, don't be ashamed of it. It's cool. It's great exercise, and you get to meet a lot of people that way. So never be ashamed of it if you got the talent. All right. The last thing that you don't know about me is that this one's a little more personal, but I guess that's kind of the way these things are set up to be, huh? Anyway, I have in my younger years, now I haven't for the last probably 7 or 8 years, but in my younger years I dated a lot, quite a lot. And in that entire time that I dated, there was only one time ever in my life that I was ever truly 100% totally in love. And because I was very young and foolish and very selfish, I screwed up that opportunity royally. And since that time, I've never ever felt that way again. And I don't know, at this point in my life, I don't know that I'll ever have that opportunity again. But I just wanted to share that to give you folks out there a piece of advice, that if you find someone that is a good human being and is a decent person and that truly loves you, then grab that opportunity. Don't let that opportunity pass you by. We don't get very many opportunities, I think, for someone to truly 100% love us just for who we are. And if you get that opportunity, then do not be foolish. Do not let silly things like looks and money and status and little quirks and all that kind of stuff deter you from something that's going to be really, really good. Because if you make a mistake, then it may be a mistake that you regret for the rest of your life. So if you have the opportunity to find someone who is a really good person and that person loves you, then you need to take that opportunity if you know that that's the right person for you. So anyway, that's my 5 things. And if you see your name in the sidebar over there, that means that I have tagged you and it's your turn. Take care. Bye-bye.